everyone, I'm Katrina and today I'm doing the Goodreads tag. Now this is quite an old tag. I did intend to do this video probably 2 years ago, but I just never got around to doing it for whatever reason, and recently I stumbled across it again, so I was like, hey, why not do it now? So that is exactly what I'm going to be doing today. I also haven't been able to find the original video for this tag. From what I can tell, the booktuber Spiral Bookmark created the tag, but I can't actually find the video on her channel, so I'm not sure if it's been deleted or not. But anyway, let's jump straight into the questions. What was the last book that you marked as read? The Seventh Bride by T. Kingfisher. And this one is a bit of a retelling of Bluebeard, and I listened to this one on audiobook. I ended up giving it 3.5 out of 5 stars, and I will go into more detail about my thoughts on this one in my monthly wrap-up for August. What are you currently reading? According to Goodreads, these are the 7 books that I am currently reading. I hate reading multiple books at once, but once again I found myself in this predicament. The Copper Gauntlet by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare, listening to this one on audiobook. American Gods by Neil Gaiman, and this is a book that I started reading a year ago but haven't yet finished. I put it down because I fell into a bit of a reading slump and I didn't end up picking it back up afterwards because it's quite a slow book, so I was like, I need to read some fast books to kind of get me out of the slump. But with this one, I'm probably going to have to start from the very beginning again when I do end up continuing with it. The Beauty Myth by Naomi Wolf. This is a book that I was supposed to have finished last semester, but I didn't end up completing all of it. I've read a good chunk of it though, I just need to sit down and finish it. This one's quite a slow one because it is non-fiction. Reading Women by Stephanie Stahl, exact same story as The Beauty Myth. The Marvels by Brian Selznick. I think I started reading this one about a year ago as well, maybe a little bit less, but I picked it up during a readathon and didn't end up finishing it by the end of the readathon, and just for some reason didn't continue reading it. So again, I'm probably gonna have to start this from the beginning. Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. This is one that I started reading only last month. Still haven't finished it though. I'm almost halfway, but really slow going with this one. It's taken me a while to get into. And finally, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, the script. I started reading this one a couple of days ago. Again, haven't read too much. I haven't been reading much at all recently. I'm kind of taking a little bit of a break after the readathons that I did last month just because I don't want to wipe myself out. What was the last book that you marked as to be read? The last book that I added to my to-read list on Goodreads is The Colour Purple by Alice Walker. I don't own the book, I just added it to the list because it's a book that I do want to read. What book do you plan to read next? The next book that I actually need to read for one of my classes this semester is The Edible Woman by Margaret Atwood. Do you use the star rating system? Yes, I do, but I hate the fact that Goodreads doesn't allow half-star ratings because I do give a fair few amount of half stars, so it's really frustrating because I feel like I'm not giving a really accurate rating when I do it on Goodreads. If I do rate a book 3.5 stars, I give it 3 stars on Goodreads, and then in my actual review I specified that it was 3.5 stars because, but I feel really bad docking half a star, but at the same time I didn't think it was worth 4 stars, so why would I round it up kind of thing. So just, such a dilemma. Are you doing a 2016 reading challenge? Yes, I am. I've set myself a goal of reading 50 books this year, and at the moment I've read a total of 40, so I am ahead of schedule for that one, which is wonderful. So wonderful. Do you have a wish list? Technically, yes, I do have a wish list shelf on my Goodreads, but I haven't updated it since September of last year, so I never use it. I never really have. Every so often I'll go through and be like, oh, I should update this, but then I won't touch it again for 6 months. What book do you plan to buy next? Just today I actually ordered a book online, The Passage by Justin Cronin, because this year I'm doing Project 5 where you read 5 books before you finish one, and after finishing my last book I had read another chunk of 5 books, so I was allowed to buy another one. So I ended up ordering myself a copy of The Passage. So at the moment I'm not actually planning on buying anything. I have to read another 5 books before I can even do that, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna buy next. I might order a sequel. The only book that I can really think of at the moment is picking up Never Fade by Alexandra Bracken. That's the sequel to The Darkest Minds, which I read when it came out, and I've been wanting to finish the series. I own the 3rd book, but not the 2nd one. Do you have any favorite quotes? Would you like to share a few? On my Goodreads, I have favorited about 30 quotes, but I actually can't remember the last time that I did this, so it is not up to date in any way. One of the ones is from Divergent by Veronica Roth. Moths, repeats Will. You're afraid of moths? Not just a cloud of moths, she says, like a swarm of them, everywhere. All those wings and legs, and she shudders and shakes her head. Terrifying, Will says with mock seriousness. That's my girl, tough as cotton balls. Oh, shut up. And speaking of the darkest minds, I also favorited Let's Carpe the hell out of this DM. Who are your favorite authors? This is another feature that I actually haven't touched in a really, really long time, but I do have Marcus Zuzak, Patrick Rothfuss, John Green, Tahara Murphy, Amy Kaufman, Rochelle Mead, Veronica Roth, Jackson Pierce, and George R.R. Martin. Have you joined any groups? Yes, I have joined a few groups, but once again, I don't really use this feature. I very rarely participate in any of the groups unless it's for an active book club that I'm participating in at that moment, or an active readathon or something like that. But even then, I'm more likely to just go on Twitter and communicate with people there. But what I do have is the little book club group, the swag group, which, oh gosh, that was made ages ago. That was for the Swag Book Club. Sydney Book Lovers, which I created. I've joined the Bookbusters Book Club, Restricted Section Book Club, Read with Ben Book Club, Perusetopia Book Club, YouTube Book Reviewers, Australian YA Bloggers and Readers, Trees of Reverie Readathon, Takio TBR Readathon, Book Rides Read Harder Challenge, Top 5 Wednesday, Roads Read Along, Dewey's 24-hour Readathon, Padfoot's Lazy Book Club, Book Hunters Read Along, Worldwide Book Club, Finding Audrey Read Along. That one's for Booksplosion, I believe. The hashtag a Yearathon, and Reading and Rambling. See, a lot of groups, but I don't participate in like any of them. And are there any questions you would like to add? If I were to add a question to this tag, it would be, what would you improve about Goodreads? Like I mentioned, there is no half-star ratings, so I would like to change that, as well as adding the option to reread a book. This in particular affects your reading challenges. So if you have a book that you've read in a past year and then you go back and change that particular review, I'm not sure, I think it takes it out of that previous reading challenge, I'm not 100% sure. But I have found a hack, basically, is you can review different editions of a particular book, especially when there's different covers internationally, and like ebook versions and paperback and hardcover versions. You can actually review different editions. So if I am rereading a book, I will go through and review or read that book in a different edition. It's just such a roundabout way to go about rereading a book, because I don't want to affect any of my previous reading challenges and take a book out of there just because I'm reading it again this year. So if they did have a way of doing that much easier, that would be wonderful. So those are all of the questions for the Goodreads tag. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. As for tagging people, this is quite an old tag, so I think a lot of people have already done this. So I'm only going to tag one person, and that is my friend Bodhi from Bodhi's Reading Nook, because he only recently joined BookTube, so I know he hasn't done this tag just yet. So Bodhi, I tag you, and I look forward to seeing your video. Aside from that, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye!